I want to feel between your eyes.
Angry drunk bitches.
Oh, hey!
Oh, hey there, eh?
it's on. Yeah. What are we doing today for Slasher Sunday?
Slasher Sunday.
Maybe I should do the whole Giallo mask thing for one of the Slasher.
Someday.
Maybe we'll do when she's Giallo.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll have to do the whole thing. I won't be able to see shit.
That's okay. I can't see shit now.
Good.
But I have a
Roy Orbison over here.
toxic Avenger eye going on right now. But, so tonight on Slasher Sundays, or this morning, or whenever you're watching this, we're covering a cult. No, it's not really a cult classic. It's actually a really bad movie. Cheerleader Camp.
Cheerleader Camp.
A.K.A. Bloody Pom-Poms.
From?
What was the year?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. 1988.
1988. Some great films came out in 1988.
This
Killer
wasn't one of them.
Clowns.
This wasn't one of them.
1988 was also, I think, the forebearer or foreshadower, I guess the word you could use is for this film, which probably drew some of the attention away because of distributing and stuff like that, was Sleepaway Camp 2.
Yep.
Unhappy Campers.
Happy.
So I think that probably did it because, let's see, it's a generic title for a generic thing, and it's
it's definitely shelf filler, and not only in my collection, but I'm sure back in the day on the rental places, they really draw you in with the skeleton cheerleader jumping around and all the crazy
it has a
Animal House like stuff going on in the background. Like,
it definitely has like the Majorettes kind of vibe cover with the like they said the skull. It does I don't know, nice tits on that skeleton though. Ooh. See, I don't remember our cheerleaders having shirts like that with no bras on.
Yeah, I don't remember cheerleaders. They never talked to me.
Well, I remember seeing them. Yeah.
I was I had a girlfriend then, but didn't like me looking in the general direction of other females.
I got you. Young love.
Regrets. I've had a few.
Young regrets. Hey, most women are better dead. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get back into the film. That's right. Right now, we have a group of people at a cheerleader camp trying to be the best.
It's like a tournament.
It doesn't seem like it, though.
No.
Because I've seen Bring It On, unfortunately.
I've seen that, too.
And it doesn't look anything like Bring It On. It's just like, it's like a slasher slumber party camp kind of film with some cheerleaders. It really doesn't have a big auditorium. It doesn't have, like, they're doing all their cheers like in like the dining area of the
mess hall. Yeah,
there's a mess hall. Yeah, the mess hall of a small summer camp. It's very interesting. It's very low budget. It's a little bit too dark at times, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like some of it, like literally, like you think some of the people are killers simply because they're walking around in dark rooms at night.
Yeah.
Even though they're obviously, I think they're lit. It's just they didn't come off as lit, you know.
One of the big selling points they really tried really hard with this movie is using teen heartthrob Leif Garrett.
Dick.
Yeah, he is playing himself, typical douche nozzle, and I could tell you one thing is he could not die soon enough in this movie.
Yeah.
He was my favorite kill, and unfortunately happens to be.
They made you work for that kill.
They fucking did. I was every time you know something's gonna happen, I go, please let it be him, please let it be him, and he ended up being the last kill, and I just don't even like the guy.
There is tits in this film, but not enough. Not enough to make you want to watch it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's that only like that really one scene.
It's one of those things where it's like a cheerleading camp. You thought you'd see more of that.
Well, then I mean, horror movies have taught me things, and other females have tried to ruin my dreams, because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. As soon as like that door shuts in like a girl's locker room, they take all their clothes off and they rub each other with cocoa oil for no reason, and then play with each other and usually have an orgy at some point in time. But apparently they say that doesn't actually happen. But apparently they can go fuck themselves.
That does happen in the men's locker room though.
Yeah, we cocoa butter each other all the time, smoking poles. But at the same time,
sword fight.
I know, ching 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 on guard. I just don't understand it. I mean, you have that cliche, everyone's sunbathing, and then for some reason the one girl's just like, I think I see some chicken skin, which is a dick. You know, I think I see a dick over there. Let me take my top off. Like, so, I think I see a guy watching me. Let's get naked? Would that actually happen in real life? Or would they be like, I think a guy's watching me, let's go over there and beat the shit out of him?
I always end up in handcuffs.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Last time I had a road con on my ass. But it was just a weird kind of a thing. And there's a lot of... I don't know, it's... Do you know those kind of sexy comedy shit from the 70s, like those
Porky's,
the Porky's and stuff like those kind of things where they have that kind of sex comedy kind of thing. They're trying to do that with this, but they never really get there.
They never nail it. They
never really get there.
Completely miss their target, and yeah, that's nothing really.
Best sex scene in the whole film is the sheriff and the owner of the camp.
That's what's even more sad is like the old people having sex is more
the guy,
appealing
the old sheriff that looks like Lee Van Cleef,
yeah,
and the not aging well owner is dressed up as a cheerleader, and they're doing like football plays and stuff.
Yeah, it's a whole role play stuff. Yeah, it's just
goalposts.
The goalpost scene, yeah.
And then they're recording it. The one guys are recording it. They play it back over. Very Porky's kind of vibe, you know what I mean? And that was the best part. And then the awkward dreams that the one girl was having, where they're like,
Nancy.
go, spirit. They're like fucking and stuff. There are times that it's a good film. What happens is there's one main cheerleader. And apparently he's like, has it all. She's the perfect cheerleader. You don't see her do any fucking cheers in the goddamn film. She's
so good at what she does, but never does.
Yeah, she's either sleeping or having nightmares about the dreams she had while she was sleeping. There's no cheerleading happening. But she basically has these nightmares the whole time, and it gives you a beautiful red herring, kind of like, oh man, she's a fucking weirdo. She must be the killer, that kind of thing. But of course, it's more envy. Always look to the mascots because they don't get
they're shady.
They're shady. They get abused. They get angry. They get shady. But I will tell you, watching the girl and the thing come out, bucketed with sweat, was pretty hot.
Yeah, I gotta say, I kind of formed a. You know who she reminded me of? Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty, yeah.
And I have a weird attraction to Shannon Doherty.
Yes.
Not now Shannon Doherty.
No.
90s Shannon
Doherty. But yeah, but that whole like just bucketed with sweat thing, kind of was like, oh, that's a good look for you.
She was really cute in that movie.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I like how she was the outcast too. She was like, no one wanted her. Like, oh, you're just a mascot.
You're just a mascot. You're just an idiot. Slap you in the head. Do it again. You're gonna fucking kicked out and stuff. It was one of those kind of feels to the whole film. I'll tell you what, the star of the show though, hands down. And if you've never seen this film, you will still agree with me when you do. George
Buck Flowers is in this film.
Buck Flowers is the epitome
and
of
I know
class.
A lot of you are sitting at home going, I have no idea who this gentleman is, but you do because he's been in everything.
Everything.
From Back to the Future, he played the homeless drunk dude laying on the bench, just like staggering around.
Sorority Girls and Slime Bowl-orama.
Everything, man, literally.
He used to do a lot of westerns back in the day as well. I mean, this guy's he did westerns. I mean,
I thought he only did horror.
This guy's done everything.
Yeah, no, he was in everything. And if you don't know who we're talking about, either watch the movie or Google him, and you'll be like, oh yes, that guy, the drunk homeless guy in every horror movie. That's him.
Would it be funny if in real life, like, he was a straight edge guy and never did drugs or drink?
Yeah, I always wonder that too. Like, you always see those rules of guys that play those rules. I'm like, I bet he doesn't actually really drink.
It would be funny if he actually really didn't, because
he's a good Christian. Goes to church every Sunday.
Yeah, that means that he's actually a real fucking actor. Instead of just a drunk.
Oh yeah.
He dies harmoniously with lots of gunfire. So it was a little shoot 'em up kind of action, very western.
Yep.
He takes a lot of shots.
Oh.
Well, alcohol and bullets.
Wasn't he at Sleepaway Camp too? No.
That was there's lots of people out there. He's that guy. And he always, I can't remember what his name off the top of my head. I had it. But Jeffrey something or other, he always plays the same character in every.
He's one of those, just one of those character actors.
Yeah, you get me out there, and I just sound like this, and this is what I do.
I wish George Flower was still alive.
Really?
Yeah, I would like to see if we get him for our movie.
Yeah.
Just play the angry drunk dude in the woods lane, kind of like.
I'll try my best to fill his shoes.
I think we could find somebody to play a George Flower character.
Yeah.
But anyway, though, like I said, Leif Garrett is in it. I know they used him to try to sell the movie, and he played his arrogant, douchey self in the movie, and listen, he couldn't die soon enough, and I'm really was hoping that he would die, be one of the first kills, so I had to look at him through the rest of the film, but unfortunately, we had to deal with him.
He was the last.
Flirting and co-porting with all these girls, and just think he's God's
gift. He was the biggest dick when she's like, look, I don't want to fuck right now in the swamp. All right, you prude, you piece of shit, like, fuck off then.
But I feel that's how he is in real life. Like
he's a dick. He probably. Oh, if he's not dead, I hope he is.
No, he's not dead, unfortunately.
Man, I
and
hope
if
he
you're,
dies.
if I hope he watches this, so someone tag him in this.
Yeah.
So we tell him how terrible of an actor he is.
Piece
Like,
of
send this
garbage.
to him on Instagram or whatever.
And we weren't impressed by your acting. We just know you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
You didn't convince us that you were a dickhead by your acting. We just know you're a piece of shit.
There's a lot of older women right now having a meltdown probably watching this,
Yeah.
thinking like, how could you say that about Leif Gary? He's a heartthrob and
no, he's not.
teen beat and whatnot. You know,
I can't. Looking at him, I don't understand why anyone would want to fuck him. Like,
he had to
honestly.
pay to be in the movie. They didn't pay him.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I don't know. Maybe aesthetic values were different in '88.
I don't know,
Much
man.
different.
I don't know. I just know. With the
I
side
don't know.
of
I don't know if you want to call this a strength, but the strength for the film and the selling point and the thing that really keeps this film moving on is the cheerleader. Even the cheerleader part doesn't do it. It's the red herring aspect.
Yeah.
This film dwells in the darkness. It tries to keep you confused. It gives you lots of dreamscapes, and it tries to always throw blame on a different person.
Yeah, there's a lot of times you're watching the movie, you think you know who the killer is. Oh, it's obviously that guy, but then that person dies. And you're like, well, all right, well, it's not that person.
Never mind. But like about 3/4, less than 3/4 of the film. I'm not saying you can't figure it out, because obviously you can, but about 3/4 away from the film, you're like dead set. Well, maybe like what is it? Between 50 and 3/4 of the film, you're like, okay, it's either her or her.
Yeah.
And then you gotta play back and forth. But as soon as, by the climax, when people start dropping like flies, you already know who it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And because when two people go away and only one comes back, pretty sure you can figure out who did it. I wonder. Everyone deserves a last call, and that one girl certainly got it around her fucking neck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got strangled out with a telephone cord in a phone booth, and they set it up to make it look like Leif Garrett's character did it, and that's how he gets shot. Spoiler alert. And
there he is. There's the killer.
Yeah, and he's all like, "No, not me," and he just gets lit up, and then that's when you go, "Oh, he was innocent."
Now, here's the thing: is it has this beautiful ending, but like, look at the ending in reality. It has this beautiful ending where she's like, no, but she did it. Why would she say that? And she's getting taken away, and like, oh, this girl's a whack job, taken away in the ambulance. And the ambulance pulls away, and then you see her, give me an A. Like, she's finally a cheerleader. She finally made it,
The mascot had a killer want to become a cheerleader.
And then my thing is, like, the cop cars are still there and shit, going like, look at this crazy bitch.
They're like, she's cheering. What the hell is she cheering
What's she cheering about? She must be the killer.
The only one left in the whole camp by herself, because everyone else left when they found out there was a killer about. Because all the kills up to this point, too, well, up to a certain point, looks like suicides.
Right.
One girl slit her wrist and stuff, and like...
That's how it all really started.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're
tragic suicide.
I noticed, too, in that movie, too, like, when people die, no one seems to, like, there's no somber tone, like, oh, Sarah's dead. It's like, oh, cheerleading still is fun.
Yeah, we have
and
to
we're drinking and having sex.
Morale up.
Yeah.
And then Buck Flowers is just like, God damn it, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, he's always like, I got it.
Even the sheriff, the sheriff was banging Donna, or, Donna, I think, or whatever, the owner of the place, or Donna. And at the same time, it was, what the fuck do you think you're going to do? Keep her on fucking ice for the whole season? Jesus Christ, you just throw her in your freezer, you dumb bitch? Yeah. Hey, by the way, we'll take care of that later. Wow, man. And then they fuck. It really doesn't give you any time to dwell on death.
Nope, just keeps moving.
It just keeps moving.
Trucking.
Like a romantic sex comedy would. But it's still trying to be horror, so it doesn't know what it is.
ADD. It's got ADD.
ADD,
It's all over the place. It doesn't focus on one visual point.
It doesn't know what it's trying to be. It has like kind of like identity crisis kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a...
Do you think if they would have focused like the score, not the score, but the script, and a little bit more time and budget, and saying, okay, and put a little bit more emphasis on horror or a little bit more emphasis on nudity sex comedy, it would have been a better film.
It's one of those things because they're both selling points of the era. You talk to a lot of horror films, nudity is always brought up, whether it be bush or boobs or whatever.
Sleepaway Camp, Sausage Fest.
Yeah, or the horror part of it. Here you have a film we talked about earlier in the night was Night of the Creeps, who, had, I don't think, really little any nudity in it.
Not really.
And was huge. Huge success. And I really feel like maybe they just focused on one or the other in the movie. I think they would have been better.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the movie, I guess I should say. I don't like the movie. But yeah, I own it. It's shelf filler. It's shelf filler.
Every like the one guy, he won't shut up about jokes. Is it Tommy or whatever? He's
fat dude, you mean?
Yeah, the fat dude. I can't remember his name off.
I hate how those guys are typecasted too. Like, oh, here we need a fat, chubby, jolly dude to make all the jokes. You know, and then he's always in the whole movie trying to get laid and never has any success because you're just a friend.
Well, he actually went to get laid the one time because he just basically picked this girl up and carried. I actually like this line. He chugged a whole bottle of vodka. He's like, I'm not good with saying, oh, fuck it. And then just attacks the girl with the maid. That's rape. But, it worked for him. And he picked her up and walked her out. And they were finally going to go get sex. And they stumble across a dead girl. I'm like, you know what? Cock blocked by the dead.
Hate it when it happens.
That's fucked, man. I would have just let her run away and then just took care of the dead girl. It's still sex, right?
I guess, man.
Hey, when the pulse stops, it's just a sex toy.
Yeah.
And it's the funny thing is about this film, the funny is what ruins the film.
Yeah.
Because
it's trying too hard.
It's just trying to chuckle the whole time.
Yep.
And you don't get a chance to actually... Because if you think about this, you have 10 girls to start with or whatever, with all the actresses and stuff and the owner and stuff. Then 4 guys, isolated, shower scenes, cheerleading, sweating. Someone's murdering them all. That's horror film gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And you still fuck it up.
It's yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on, though. It's just...
What do you rate the film overall?
I'm going to go even, this is a surprise, because I like bad, I like cheesy, I like terrible, I enjoy those things, and I even like slasher films, I got into slasher films before anything else, and horror, that was what popped my cherry, were slasher films, and even this is really bad, and even as a fan, I'm going to rate this somewhere around a 4.
Okay.
A bandwagon. Like overall 4 for me.
Okay, 4.
By a bandwagon jumper, that'd be a -1 probably.
Okay. It would be one of those ones that they hated.
I will always respect the art form because
would you consider this film like polarizing? Either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of.
It's one of those. You either like it or you hate it. I know there's a cult following out there for it. I see it on the internet all the time. People rant about this movie, how good it is, and I'm into some terrible films. I like cheese, but this is just, and like I said, Leif Garrett. I can't stress enough how much I hate that guy. I wish I could just make a shirt that says I hate Leif Garrett.
You could.
I will have one.
You should do it.
I will have one. I'm just gonna say I might wear it someday where it's gonna say I hate Leif Garrett, and we'll talk about not one of his movies.
Right.
But
we're not gonna talk about Leif Garrett because fuck him. We're gonna talk about a different film. I hate Leif Garrett shirts.
I think my mom likes Leif Garrett. I think if she's watching this or watches this, she might have a meltdown about that because I think that was around her era where he was a heartthrob and like, oh, Leif Garrett, and I'm just like, no, piss off. Like So basically
what it was is this film could have been an 8 out of 10, but because Leif Garrett's in it, it's a 4 out of 10.
I tell you what, for how bad, if everything stayed the same, you just took Leif Garrett out and replaced him with anybody else, I would have put it more probably about a 6 or a 7. But because Leif Garrett is in this movie, you got a 4.
And this is how ratings work, and this is how bandwagon people work, and this is how anybody works, right? You take Leif Garrett out, you replace him with Bruce Campbell, this thing's a 10.
Oh, easily. Could you imagine Bruce Campbell was in that?
I would love
just trying to get tail the whole time. And just
being a complete cocky dick.
Oh, yeah, no, because, Bruce Campbell's fun, cocky asshole, where Leif Garrett is just naturally like that, and there's a time and a place with Bruce Campbell where he'll even be serious, like, oh, we really need it. But, Leif Garrett in everything is just a tool.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to bring this point up because... saying how you could replace this character and the film would drastically change either way, and this was going to my rating. The film is a neutral film. It's very easily approachable. You can watch it, don't get a lot out of it, don't expect to get a lot out of it, but just enjoy it for what it is. But it's a neutral film. I'm gonna give it a little higher than a neutral score of 5 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 overall. It's not that badly done, but if you did a little bit of character placement of different characters, a different actor or an actress here or there, it would make the film go up or down. So it's a very neutral, it's a very placid film that you could, it's a nice even palette, and depending on who you had playing those roles, it could go up or down. Like, for instance, Leif Garrett, down. Bruce Campbell, up. Yep. I mean, things like that. And we're obviously going to say credit and discredit to the actor himself or actresses.
Yep.
But for what this is, could you imagine, He wasn't that old. You could have put Chubbs in there instead.
Oh, yeah.
If you put Chubbs in there as the fat guy.
Yeah.
Because Chubbs is a great actor.
Yep,
we all love Chubbs. You know, and then you could put Bruce Campbell and Chubbs in the same film. Like, there's so many different things. And, like, I think every film needs Michelle. If there's Tits, there needs Michelle Bauer. Michelle Bauer needs to be in everything.
Yeah, I think it's just poor everything in this movie.
Like, for instance, if you really watch Sorority Girls in the Slime Bowl-rama, most people will hate that fucking film.
We will be covering that because
Yes,
I just
we
got
will.
that on. I got that in today actually. I got that on DVD.
Oh, great! I mean, and that's another Buck Flowers and Michelle Bauer film.
But you know that movie brought so much more to the table than this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Bowl-rama movie just is like it's fun. And you have the good cast in it, you know,
mm-hmm. and you have comedy.
Yeah, but it's funny comedy. Like
but
it's not like forcing it.
It works, yeah. But this is forcing every joke every time and beating everything with a dead horse.
Yeah. I really feel like Leif Garrett and the fat dude were kind of trying to be like Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise. It just failed. But with saying that too, this is just our opinions. Still check the movie out. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, if you like slasher, it still brings stuff to the table enough for to enjoy it. You know, I've seen a lot of films too where I'm just like, I can't even watch this movie, and you turn it off. House of the Dead. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Oh no, because I knew it was gonna be bad, so I never.
I couldn't even get stomach the first 30 minutes of that movie. I had to turn it off. And I know it has nothing to do with slasher films. But that's just one of those movies I'm using an example that just is bad.
Bad.
And this is better than that, I would say, easily. But, you know, just check it out. Watch it. I don't know where you can find this. I don't know if they even have this on YouTube or...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Is it?
If you type in, like, Cheerleader Camp on YouTube, it won't come up with Cheerleader Camp, but the first one is Cheerleader Camp full film.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't say Cheerleader Camp. It says, like, horror genre / comedy horror or something like that. But that actually is Cheerleader Camp.
So I have a question. Maybe you can figure this out, too. I had a little hard time thinking why we're on the subject of this movie still. Were there razor blades or knives in the pom-poms?
Yes.
Like, for real, though? Like I knew they were in the dream sequences.
Yeah.
But were they...
I would have to assume so because I love that scene.
Because if you remember at the end of the movie where the killer throws the pom-poms, they sound like there's something in them. Like change.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't ever actually see any razor blades or anything in the pom-poms.
But I did, as far as that goes, bringing up before we end the film review, I did like the sequence where like she's hitting with the pom-pom and scratching. Like there are things I do like about the film, and that's why I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stick to my 4 because of Leif Garrett. Kind
of reminds me of like Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, where the guy's got the claws on his, except it's pom-poms. So if they use pom-poms, it would be silly.
Leif Garrett just ruined it for me. I'm sorry. I really feel like Leif Garrett just...
And the funny thing is, he picked the film to review.
I did. Well, because, you know, I want to... You know, it was my turn to pick a film for Slasher Sundays, and there's a lot of slasher films out there, and I kind of feel like this isn't really... I don't know anybody's ever seen this besides you. You know, we always try to stick with the more lesser-known films, and... like I said, it's a good movie to watch.
Should we continue the girls in skirts doing dance routines for the next Slasher Sunday?
If you want, I mean, we can talk about whatever you want, you know, because it's your turn to pick. So
it's my turn to pick.
Don't ruin it though for these people. Let them find out when they tune in next week or
what
following week or whatever
for Slasher Sunday.
We'll talk about that after the camera's off.
All right. Well, this has been Paul
and Josh.
Maniacs Meat Podcast Slasher Sunday Part 2 coming up next 2 weeks from now. Another podcast and another Slasher Sunday. See you there.